Good evening. My name is Frank Chupka. I am the Consultant Project Management Engineer for District 7 of the Florida Department of Transportation. Welcome to the public hearing for the Gateway Expressway project. The work program segment number is 433880-1. The proposed improvements include the construction of a new 4-lane elevated tolled expressway connection from US 19 to west of I-275 and from the Bayside Bridge, which is County Road 611, and St. Petersburg Clearwater International Airport to west of I-275 in the Gateway area of Pinellas County, Florida. Today is Thursday, February 26, 2015, and it is approximately 6:01 p.m. We are assembled at the PSTA Administration Building here at 3201 Shearer Drive North, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33716. This public hearing is being held to give all interested parties the right to understand the project and comment on their concerns to the department. Public participation at this hearing is encouraged and solicited without regard to race, color, creed, religion, sex, age, national origin, disability, or family status. This public hearing is being held in accordance with applicable federal and state laws. Those citations are listed on the board next to the sign-in table. This public hearing was advertised with federal and state requirements as being conducted consistent with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. This information is also provided in the project handout. This is your opportunity to receive information on the project and officially comment on the recommended design for the Gateway Expressway and other documents available here this evening. The recommended design is based on environmental and engineering analyses completed to date, as well as on public comments that have been received. This public hearing is for the Gateway Expressway project to reevaluate the two previously completed project development and environmental PD&E studies associated with the project sections. The east-west section of the project, 118th Avenue or County Road 296, which is WPI segment number 413622-1, from US 19 to east of the Roosevelt Connector, which is near 40th Street, was completed in 2006 with a design change reevaluation completed in 2012. The PD&E study for the north-south section, which is State Road 686 or East Bay Drive / Roosevelt Boulevard, which is also WPI segment 711695-2, was completed in 1993. The Gateway Expressway project will construct a new 4-lane elevated tolled expressway connection from US 19 to west of I-275 from the Bayside Bridge, which is County Road 611, and St. Petersburg Clearwater International Airport to west of I-275. The east-west section of the project from US 19 to west of I-275 will be generally constructed in the median and elevated over existing 118th Avenue, which will be reduced from 6 to 4 lanes below the elevated expressway. The elevated portion above 118th Avenue will become State Road 690. The north-south section of the project will be generally constructed within the median of State Road 686, which is Roosevelt Boulevard, from the Bayside Bridge, which is County Road 611, to State Road 688, which is Ulmerton Road. Then continue south along a new alignment through the old Sunshine Speedway property until it joins with the proposed east-west elevated section, to be called the future 690, State Road 690, of the project over existing 118th Avenue. A toll-free option will remain on the existing roadway network to give drivers a choice. When you arrived this evening, you should have received an information package containing an informational handout and comment form. If you weren't able to sign in or did not receive an information package, please stop by our sign-in table before leaving this evening. You should also have had the opportunity to view the video presentation that is continuously running throughout this public hearing. Those who wish to provide comments during this formal portion of the public hearing should complete a speaker's card and submit it to a department representative. If you did not receive a card and would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand and a department representative will be happy to provide you with one. In addition to making an oral statement during this portion of the hearing, you may also make a comment after this presentation to the court reporter that is here this evening. You may also submit your comments to the department in writing. Comment forms may be placed in one of the comment boxes this evening, or you may complete the form at a later date and mail it to us at the pre-printed address on the back of the sheet. Please keep in mind that written comments must be postmarked by Monday, March 9th, 2015, to be included in the official public hearing record. One of the unavoidable consequences on a transportation project such as this is the necessary acquisition of privately owned land and the subsequent relocation of families or businesses displaced by such acquisition. On this project, we anticipate the acquisition of 37 parcels, including easements. Although there are no residences that will be require relocation, there are 18 businesses that are eligible for relocation. These eligible business relocations are marked on the aerial displays with a red B as in business. If all or part of your property is being acquired, you will be provided a written explanation of your legal rights in eminent domain. You will be contacted by an appraiser who will inspect your property and become familiar with its unique characteristics. We encourage you to be present during the inspection and provide information about your property, which would be helpful in determining its value. After the appraisal is complete, a right-of-way specialist will meet with you to negotiate in good faith and to serve as a point of contact throughout the process. If you are required to move as a result of a Department of Transportation project, you will be treated in a fair and helpful manner and in compliance with the Uniform Relocation Act. You will be eligible for relocation, advisory services, and you may also be eligible for relocation payments, including moving expenses, replacement housing costs, or business reestablishment expenses. A relocation specialist will be assigned to visit you throughout the relocation process. If you are not satisfied with the department's determination of your eligibility for payment or the amount of that payment, you may appeal that determination. You will be furnished any necessary forms and notified of the procedures to follow in making that appeal. A special word of caution: if you move before the property you occupy is acquired or before you receive notification of the relocation benefits that you might be entitled to, your benefits may be jeopardized. The right-of-way specialists who are familiar with this process are available this evening and will be happy to answer your questions. They will provide you with copies of the acquisition and relocation assistance brochures. Dave Eaton and Andrew Nappy, if you will please stand, so that anyone who is affected property owner, they're standing directly in the back there, who is an affected property owner or displaced family or business will know who to see regarding these types of issues. Thank you. Before I continue, I would like to recognize any elected officials or their representatives who are here tonight. Please stand and introduce yourselves for the record. At this time, we will begin taking public comments. I will call each speaker in the order in which their request was received. In an effort to accommodate all requests to speak, we ask that each speaker keep their comments to 3 minutes. Those who wish to provide additional comments may return to the microphone following the last speaker, or you may present your additional comments directly to the court reporter at the end of tonight's hearing. As I call your name, please step to the microphone, and it's a handheld microphone there that gentleman has, and state your name and address before making your comments. If you have questions, please see one of the department representatives following this portion of the hearing. The first speaker is Mr. Mark Sobosinski. Anywhere in your face.
How do you do? I'm Mark Sobosinski. I'm the property manager for the 40th Street Plaza located on Overton Road and 40th Street. I found out about in the upcoming project by applying or going to the Department of Transportation and asking them for a driveway access to our property from Overton Road. Right now, to access our property, which is a Starbucks, FedEx office, and there was a restaurant there, but it's closing, and 2 other properties that are empty, and also a Hampton Inn behind us. You have to be off of Overton Road, go down 40th Street, and enter from behind the property, and exit the same way. And I went to the Department of Transportation, spoke to Chris Gregory, and he investigated and spoke to Ms. Ira Cash and a few other people, and they did an investigation and ended up telling me that the application or my request was denied, being that it was too close to the intersection of 40th Street and Overton Road. At that time, it was a berm, a drainage berm. But since then, I was approached by the city, by the Department of Transportation, and they said that they were going to level off the berm, make grass, and they would take down the wall that's in front of our property. And so I said, well, now it's easier. I can get an entrance, and I don't have to bridge the gap over the berm. You can just put the feet in. And they said, oh, it's still too close to the intersection. However, I was told that at that time, I was told that it's no longer going to be an intersection. They're removing the traffic light. They're going to create a median and block the median there, and there's going to be no access from eastbound traffic. You have to go to, I thought it was 49th Street, make a U-turn and come back to 40th Street if you're heading westbound. And if leaving the property, you have to make a right turn. If you want to go west, you have to make a right turn, go east, go to 38th Street, cross 5 lanes or 6 lanes of traffic, to make a U-turn at 38th Street to leave the property and then go back west. Now I'm finding out it's not going to be an intersection anymore, and I don't see there's any reason why it shouldn't be allowed that I have an ingress and possibly an egress to and from, into and out of the 40th Street Plaza and the Hampton Inn. They're both subject to this problem. And that's my situation right now. And I was told I could put a permit in, apply for a permit, and possibly they may allow for this to happen. But that remains to be seen. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Next will be Mr. George Sin.
Thank you. My name is George Sin. I own property at 40th Street and 126th Avenue. Business is Central Florida Testing Laboratories. We moved in 1998. Pinellas County's across the street. It's part of the old Golden Triangle, now APAC property. I attended a hearing, I think probably in 2006, when the acquisition was going to be made of the racetrack property and an extension or a continuation of the flyover from Roosevelt going down to 118th. And I understood that, and it was certainly well needed. It would alleviate traffic on Olmerton Road. But what I see here, you're spending $450 million for about 2.5 miles of toll. If you charge the $1 per toll, that's 450 million cars, which none of us will ever live to. What is your projected traffic across this? Because you're now eliminating one of the lanes of the non-toll on 118th Avenue, forcing people to take a toll that they won't take, and then bottle up the non-tolled area and make it worse. Do you have projections on the number of cars that are going to use this elevated tollway?
We'll get one of our staff members to get with you afterwards and answer the question.
That isn't available at this point?
If you could write the question down, or get one of our staff folks that would have that information.
Somebody doesn't talk down everybody.
It would be interesting for us to hear the answer.
Somebody
They
will-
can talk all day, nothing's gonna happen.
Not to him in particular,
Sure.
it's a valid
We
question.
did somebody?
It's a very valid question, and we want to make sure we give you the best answer possible, but we're not answering questions at this moment.
Why?
In the interest of
Public
giving other
input.
folks time.
Why? What
It's
was-
just part
what's
of
the
the
meeting
formal
for? Why
procedure.
became the way it was? I mean,
Well,
he tried-
the other part of that question, if you're eliminating one lane on each side of 118th Avenue, and it's gonna be a toll road from 19 to the interstate, all of the businesses along 118th, 49th Street, 43rd Street, all of that area, and continuing past 40th Street over to the west connector to 275, is can't get off the toll road, but you're taking away a lane, you're only gonna make it worse, not better. And if you charge $10 a car, with nobody pay, it takes 45 million cars to pay for 2.5, 3 miles of project. I don't know where the money's coming from, but it's not cost effective, and the method you're doing it, we certainly need a non-toll road on the flyover from Roosevelt coming through the property that you bought 9, 10 years ago and has sat dormant. And now you're gonna put a retention pond on it is all, and allow the racetrack to still operate. Why'd you pay for it if you're not gonna use it?
We appreciate your comments and your questions, and we will be getting answers to you.
Is there a possibility I could jump over so I could make a comment now? Because it's sort of related with
Did you
that.
fill a card? or-
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to go when we're out of courtesy of the folks, so.
Anybody mind if I go ahead?
Mr. Patrick DeLorenzo?
That's me.
Oh, well.
Obviously, I'm Patrick DiLorenzo. I have a unique situation because I live in Seminole and I have a business on the corner of 44th and 118th. And I'm not really addressing in the same method that that gentleman stated, but it's sort of the same idea. In the last couple of years in front of my location, if you come in driving down 118th and passing DiLorenzo Tire, you are going to be bumper to bumper, bumper to bumper. If you come from the east going west at 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, you are going to be bumper to bumper, bumper to bumper. And sometimes you need 2 and 3 lights before you get 49. Now, it seems that when we first started talking about this project, it was a great idea. But I had mentioned to someone, and if anybody here can take the time, if you sit on the corner of 118th Avenue, Brian Dairy, however you want to put it, in US 19, at any time of the day that I'm talking about, you're going to see probably 80% of the cars coming from Brian Dairy and 102nd and going straight through, and you're going to see 10% or 20% at the very most coming off of US 19 and going east to get onto 275. In the last 2 years, my business structure, if you want to call it, has changed, that I don't see as many people coming in early in the morning or later in the afternoon. They're all coming. So I can see, in a marketing sense, that I have a change in what's going on. And I don't see that this project, the way it's being set off, is really going to alleviate that. And if anybody lives, excuse me, in Seminole and is coming from Tampa or going back and forth, you'll know that there is a traffic jam right from 38th, 34th Street, when you get on, or however you want to do it, through 49th Street, through US 19, certainly Brian Dairy. That Brian Dairy connection right there, I can't see any of this alleviating that. And certainly, even when we go to Seminole Boulevard. So I'm not talking about dollars and all that. I really don't see that this is addressing the major scenario of traffic when you get past the Roosevelt situation. And if anybody agrees with that or not, that's my comment.
Thank you for your comment.
And I'm sorry, is there someone I can talk to about, because one of the things I didn't say, and I'm sorry, is that we're taking 6 lanes and now we're going 4 lanes. And I'm telling you that there's only 1 lane that is going to 19. If that's the case, and I'm correct, we still have that bottleneck. Because you're reducing the road.
Thank you for listening to all the comments. We'll be addressing each and every one of them. They're valid. Are there any other speakers at this time?
I'd like to elaborate on the first comment I made about not being able to have an access off of Almaton Road. Just recently, where Almaton Road meets Walsingham Road, about 127th Street, I'd say, they built a Wawa gas station right on the corner intersection of Almaton and Walsingham. And they were permitted to get an egress and ingress in the turn lane. Something similar to what I wanted, but I wasn't asking for the ingress and egress on the turn lane, I wanted it back. But they were permitted to get this turn lane that I was denied. And I just wanted to comment on that. How would they get permission and like our company be denied that? It just didn't seem fair. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you for your comment. Up next, we have Mr. Dan Harvey.
Good afternoon, Dan Harvey from St. Pete, Florida. I can certainly understand how individual property owners would have concerns and be directly affected by something of this nature. And also, I would like to say, hopefully that gets worked out for the best opportunity for all of you. But I would also say, for us who are to drive through this area, we have to rely on the DOT to make those decisions. The power of eminent domain allows for the taking of private property for public use. And they have $93 million set aside to do this. I realize that might not ever satisfy the owners of these properties, but this is part of the U.S. system. I would say that this toll system that's going in would seem to be the wave of the future, and it's going to happen all through I-275 as well, so we can get used to these toll roads since the money's not coming down to the Department of Transportation. So the toll roads, I think, in this Gateway Express will generate money that's needed, and I think this is a good project. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any additional speakers?
My name is John Melville. I am a resident of Seminole. I have a small business, a manufacturing business that's right off of 118th Avenue. I travel this route every single day. I share the sentiments of this gentleman here about the traffic and about the problems. I have a concern about the loss of a lane of traffic each way. It's pretty bad as it is already. And I think the concept of having a toll on this little stretch is nonsense, because it's going to push people down below into the 2 lanes. They're not going to go up. They're going to have to pay a toll every day if they drive that section. They're going to say, I'm going to stay down. We have 1 less lane. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. I support the concept of connecting 275 to I-19. I think that's something that we really need. I support that, and will give a much easier access, but I think the concept of what's going to happen to 118 has to be rethought. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any additional comments?
Can I have one more?
Sure.
Okay. George Sin again. I just wanted to, I know it's not part of this project, but originally, as I said earlier, I thought it was part of it, but if we, I certainly appreciate the DOT and their expertise. Everybody in this room hopefully knows 40th Street and Olmerton Road, Cracker Barrel on the northwest, this man's business on the southwest, cosmetics on the southeast, and hotel and everything else. The logic there is to take that right away, take the median cut across it, so that you can have an extended left turn lane for 38th or 37th Street, where you have a Burger King and the Golden Diamond Source. If you go right, it dead ends and goes nowhere. And if you go left, once you pass the Walgreens, you go up to the Airco Golf Course, which has also been closed. So you've got a private road with an extended left turn that goes nowhere in either direction, but 40th Street has my business with 50 employees and 50 trucks. You've got the asphalt plant with heavy equipment. You have Waste Management on the east side backing up to this. You have Melco with their tractor trailers. It's just south of this gentleman's business. You have the Kofer's U-Pull-Up, whatever it's called, many heavy trucks, plus the brush debris south of that. 40th Street is an industrial road. You've cut off the south by taking away the turn lane or the median cut to the south. Now you're going to take away the median cut to the north. The logic is take all this heavy traffic, and to go north, you've got to use Drywall Avenue, which is nothing but a temporary cul-de-sac extension to 37th with a lot of debris under it. And I did some work on the days in back at that point. I'm a geotechnical engineer. The logic doesn't make sense to have an extended left turn lane, but part of this project was a free extension of Roosevelt, 218th and 19 to the interstate. You never are going to alleviate traffic jams with a limited access or exit toll road and taking away a lane where we need another lane. So again, I don't know where the logic's coming in or the money, but it just doesn't make sense. And that's the end of it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any more comments? The public hearing transcript, written statements, exhibits, and reference materials will be available for public inspection at the District 7 office at 11201 North McKinley Drive, Tampa, Florida, within 3 weeks. It is approximately 6:29 p.m. I hereby officially close the formal portion of the public hearing for the Gateway Expressway project. The Florida Department of Transportation thanks you for attending. Remember to be alert today, alive tomorrow. Safety does not happen by accident. Good night.
If you haven't seen the video,